constituency of St. James South, Sandra Husbands.
Now is the time.
Now is the time.
Everybody ready?
Everybody ready?
Go tell your friends.
Go tell your friends.
Tell your whole family.
Your whole
And tell
family.
the stranger upon the left.
On the left.
Tell the stranger upon the right.
On the right.
We rolling with BLP. It's one chance to make this right.
Yeah! Good afternoon to the Barbados Labour Party. How are you? I am excited because this is our time and this is our moment. I want to introduce you to me. My name is Sandra, and Sandra means defender of mankind and protector of mankind. And all my life, that is all I've ever wanted to do. From the time I knew myself, I wanted to defend people against injustice. I wanted to defend people against oppression. I hate unfairness in every form. Down to big children, pushing little children out of the lunch line at school. That used to get me mad. And when I look at what is happening to our nation, where injustice and unrighteousness is unearthing itself from our belly, inside of me rises up with a passion to do something about it. I believe that this nation has reached a stage where we will come into a rebirth of ourselves so that we renew what it means to be Barbados, so that we make Barbados work again for everyone. And that can only happen if righteousness and justice rolls down from the hills like streams flowing in a river, like the sea covering this nation. And I want to say this to you. The reason why righteousness and justice must come to this land is because never again should we have a government that has collected $22 billion in taxes and have done nothing for the people. Never again should the injustice of CLICO that has impoverished pensioners should ever happen again in this country. Never again in this country should we have a situation where a government dismisses thousands of workers and avoided the last in, first out principle. That must never happen again in this country. We must have justice in Barbados. Never again must we have a situation where you have a case in court for years and years and years and you cannot get justice. Never again in this country must we ever have a situation where a government can be contemptuous of its people and give it no service. This is what causes my passion to rise, and this is why I've come to offer myself in service. Because as I walk through St. James South, as I walk through Barbados, and I see what is happening to the lives of the people, my heart cries out to do something about it, and that is why I have offered myself in service. I've offered myself in service because every generation has its purpose and has its work. We are here in 2017. We have been birthed for the year 2017 and all that it means to this nation. We are here for such a time as this. And if God is to establish righteousness and justice in this country again, he must have an instrument with which he's going to do it. And that instrument is the Barbados Labour Party. That instrument is the Barbados Labour Party. It is one of the instruments that God will use to right this nation. We do not have to be perfect, but we have to be fit for use. We will not be right every time, but we must be able to get it right most of the time. We may not see everything, but what drives us in our heart has to be a sense of love and a sense of sacrifice on behalf of this nation. And I'm here to tell you that the Barbados Labour Party has been raised up for such a time as this, and I am privileged to be a part of it. Since my nomination, I have felt so strongly about who we are as a team when I look at the candidates that have been chosen to serve on our behalf. I say to myself, this is the team for the times. And God has raised up Mia Motley, raised up this team here, and has given us the privilege and the opportunity to serve this nation. And for every one of you who name yourselves as Barbados Labour Party members, you have been called for such a time as this. So this is what we have to do, Barbados Labour Party. We cannot bring the politics of old. We cannot bring the governance of old. We must bring the governance that will take Barbados to a new level and issue in prosperity, issue in fairness and justice for every single Barbadian in this nation. And I give God thanks that I have the privilege to get on board so that we can go forward and build the future for the Barbadian people. God bless every one of you, and I'm looking forward to the fight.